Well, hello there, and welcome to Locally Sourced 2020. We're really excited to have you here. Locally Sourced is a production of short plays and monologues, original works written by the Live Arts Playwrights Lab. And we're very excited to have you here this evening. I assure you that it will be dark in just a few minutes. First, we would like to thank our sponsors, season presenters Elizabeth and Joe Lavaca, Bank of America, September sponsors Robinson Farmer Cox and Associates, media sponsor WTJU 91.1, scene shop sponsor Karen Pape, Pay What You Can sponsors Allison Partners, Strauss Construction, Latitude 38, and Ting. Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. And now to our audience members, I believe that you are able to see a donate button on your screen. If you are able to donate in any way to Live Arts, it would be greatly appreciated. Your contributions help Live Arts to bring you shows like this and shows in the theater one day again in person in the future. And now on to this evening's shows. First up, we have a monologue written by me, Courtney Jett Walker, titled Youthful Like a Hoodie, and a short play written by Malcolm Aslett, titled The Zuban Script. It is with great sadness that I let you know that Malcolm Aslett passed away this past week. He was an active and exuberant part of the Playwrights Lab. He always brought with him a warmth and a wit that was ever present in his presence and his writing. There is a kindred nature in an art form where when you love an art form and you get to share that art form with someone else who really loves that art form, that's just irreplaceable. And those of us who knew Malcolm in the lab knew that he had a kindred heart, and we were very fortunate to get to share in that with him. I have the great privilege of sharing the stage with him artistically this evening. So without further ado, here is a play written by Courtney Jett Walker, directed by Laura Mawyer, and performed by Cadessa Davis. Here is a monologue, Youthful Like a Hoodie. He got home an hour late. Again. The excuse? Work. As if that's not what I'm doing? So, I punched my figurative time clock and yelled, "Mommy's night out!" And so I did. I got out. I didn't know where I was going, but it was my turn, damn it, just to go. So I drove. And then decided, a movie. Yes, a movie. By myself? Sure, why not? Didn't I used to love that sort of thing? Ignoring social cues and keeping my distance all at once? Alone, together. Isn't that how it should be? Aren't we always anyhow? I parked at the Alamo, went in, bought a ticket, boom. There was an hour to spare, so I walked back outside where couples giggled and buddies joked around. I didn't mind, not one bit. I looked at the sky, walked the sidewalk. It was cool and gray and damp. And I realized my arms were bare and goosebumpy. Shit. And I had forgotten my not so fair weather jacket, as one does when they're making an unexpected break for it. I walked a bit further up the predestined strip mall path, and lo and behold, there, in all its glory, was an Old Navy. I made a beeline for the hoodies.
Soft fleece, zip-up pastel colors, $10. So many of my favorites in a hoodie. A symbol of comfort and cool. A college-age impulse buy with the cash your mama gave you when you drove your gold rusty Toyota Corolla back to school. Perfection. I bought my blanket with arms and strolled. No, skipped. Back to the theater. I sat in my chosen ahead of time aisle seat and happily ordered my night out alone local beer. I smiled pleasantly and hoped my eyes conveyed to other moviegoers to please not have the audacity to sit next to me. My solitary plans foiled, a lovely, if not boisterous, full of social living family sat one by one next to me until the largest and the loudest and, God forbid, friendliest, the dad, sat right next to me. He jovially asked me all about my assumed love of the Beatles and needed little reply as he swiftly told me all about his, which made sense, I remembered, as the film we were about to see was about the Beatles. Don't get me wrong, I do in fact love the Beatles. Who doesn't? It's only that I am not a proper fan. A proper fan being someone who knows all the music and on which album it lives and can recite it to you in order. They're good, not bad at all. I simply chose to never become a proper fan. I could, however, not bring myself to divulge any of this to lovely large man, as his eyes were so a-twinkle with Beatlemania. As he goes on and on, I notice that he has ordered a beer as well and has begun to share my food tray as the movie starts. Kinda weird, but okay. I work on my yoga breathing to ensure that I am calm and having a nice alone night at the movies on my unintentional date. And I begin to feel relief as my choice to be peaceful is working. And then, as characters on screen begin talking, typically my favorite part of enjoying a movie, lovely large man's chicken wings arrive. And much louder than the dialogue coming from the speakers is the biting and the smacking and the chewing of chicken wings. And I can feel the rage of 1,000 days building up in my chest, and my cheeks flame red under my skin, and the thought of grabbing hold of those plated wings and destroying them across the theater visually crosses my mind. And then I think about that morning and how the rage of 1,000 days is not the fault of poor lovely large man. It is the deep shame-worthy fault of my children and me. I think about that morning and my children screaming and not being able to hear my friend on the phone and yelling, "Shut up!" And their little shocked eyes popping up. And them calling me mean mommy. And knowing that it was just a simple little conversation that I couldn't hear. But it was more than that too. Over and over again, they were my own thoughts. They were supposed to be mine to have. My own right to think critically or at all, and to have real conversation, or to quiet, or to music, or to just flippin' be a grown-up. Ever. And now, here I was, in a dark theater, in my new hoodie meant to style someone 20 years younger than I, on my unintentional date with lovely loud chicken wing eating man, and all I could think was, I am so hungry. I am hungry and must eat and join and be part of this weird social experiment alone and together with others. I ordered nachos and cheese dip. And I crunched the loudest I have ever crunched through that cute little Beatles movie, and I heard a little bit of the dialogue and a few good songs, and that was enough. Afterwards, the lovely large man asked me to check and make sure I hadn't been charged for any of his family's food. And I checked, and I had not been. I thanked and said goodnight to lovely large man. It did actually turn out to be kind of a nice date. I drove home in absolute silence. I went inside, laid down, and enjoyed the quiet for a time. As my eyes closed, I thought about how loud my house would be yet again when daylight came back around. I acknowledged to no one that that could be pretty okay. I fell asleep in my cool new teenage hoodie. It was so warm. I didn't want to take it off. Just a nice, unexpected blanket with arms after all. Sometimes, giving yourself a little love is all you need.
And now, to bring our show home for this evening, a short play written by Malcolm Aslett, directed by Sav Maive, performed by Brandon Bolick and David S. Witt. Here is the Zuban script.
Cramp.
I'm sorry, do I know you?
Argilius Cramp.
That is I.
I know. I know.
You have me at a disadvantage. Have we met before?
No, not at all. I know your name because of this. I have the script.
And what script might that be?
It's my script. A script of my life. What I'm saying. What I'm doing. As I'm saying it. As I'm reading it. Zuban takes one step back. Zuban takes one step forward. I mean, there it is. Brilliant.
That's unbelievable.
I know. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
No, I mean that's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know. And yet, here it is. The words I'm speaking as I speak them.
And what about me?
Oh, yeah, you're in it too. As long as you're part of it, I guess. Look at that. I said that not 2 minutes ago, word for word. And then Zuban stops Cranford. Blah, 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 blah.
So you could skip ahead and see what you're going to do tomorrow?
I suppose I could. I guess if I... No. They're stuck. I can't seem to open them past the page I'm up to, but still amazing, right?
Unquestionably.
And there's other stuff, like... Oh. Zuban almost steps into the pool of blood.
And you're Zuban.
That's right, but... Wait, there's more. The pool of blood left by the murder victim, Aaron Bolger, but steps away at the last moment.
Aaron Bolger? It actually says that? The name Aaron Bolger?
Yeah. Yeah, can you believe it?
Not hardly.
It's got loads of stuff like that. Like, wait. Zuban points at the suitcase left by the victim. Cranford lets out a gasp and puts both hands on his head.
That's... How is that possible?
I don't know. And I know I don't know because That's what it says right here. I don't know.
May I see it?
Sure.
That's my name. It says Cranford tries to take the script, but Zuban suspects he's going to take it from him and keeps a firm hold of it.
It's so spot on. Speaking of spots, the blood trails all the way back to...
What? You think there's something in the trash bin?
Zuban nods.
Where on earth did you get it?
Now that's a funny story. Not so much funny as odd. It was a bizarre sequence of events that led me to find it. Find them, actually. I mean, there were thousands of these. Hundreds of thousands. All alphabetically arranged, but as my family name is Zixman, with a Z and a Y and an X, this one wasn't really hard to spot. Right at the end of a glass shelf. Plain as day, it jumped right out to me. Zuban Zixman. It's unusual to see your name on a page like that, but also not so unusual if you catch my drift.
Where? That's all I'm asking. Where did you get it?
Why? It's not as if you can go get one of your own. No, I'm not even supposed to have this one, but I just couldn't help myself.
You mean you stole it?
Well, that's debatable. Theft in this particular locale is defined as the removal of personal property with the intent of depriving the owner of possession. Hardly the case, as I'm not even sure who the owner is. I mean, it's got my name on it, for one thing. More to the point, I'm only borrowing it temporarily.
How long is temporarily?
Well, no one lives forever.
It's the how long is a piece of string argument.
Precisely.
I've used it myself.
It's a good one.
But, this document, I mean, it could prove helpful.
That's what I was thinking.
I mean, could it,
Cranford swings his right fist at Zuban, who deftly bends to miss the blow while continuing to read aloud. Cranford attempts to punch and kick him, but Zuban steps back at the exact right moment to avoid harm. Cranford pauses, hands on his knees, out of breath.
It isn't wrong.
It's spot on. I love it. It's the dream. Really, getting this little bit of edge on life, it's like having somebody rooting for you.
We could all do with someone like that.
Don't I know it? The bad luck I've been having lately.
Tell me about it.
First I lost my job. Then my wife...
Oh, buddy, it's just an expression. Tell me about it means you don't have to tell me about it.
Apparently I do. There's actually a short paragraph here. I lose my job. My wife leaves me. Da-da-da-da-da. Oh yeah. My own dog bites me. What's that about, huh?
I have no idea.
You know, my wife, she used to complain about being passed over for men at work. She said it was sexist. And it probably is. But it happens to men too. Boys, girls, being passed over. Metaphorically or otherwise. I mean, it certainly happens to me. Happens to most of us. Maybe we all feel like we're not getting a fair crack of the whip. That there's no justice in the world.
There is no justice in the world.
Finally, you and me on the same page.
You have proof of that in your hand.
That I do. What's it say next? While Zuban reads aloud from the script, Cranford looks around to see if there are any eyewitnesses. Cranford puts his hand on the trash bin where he recently deposited the remains of his 7th murder victim, Aaron Bolger, wondering if there is room for Zuban.
What do you think?
I don't know.
What does the script say?
It's at the bottom of the page.
Turn it over.
I don't want to.
What do you think it says?
I don't know.
Do you want me to guess?
I don't know.
Don't worry, Zuban. Don't let your imagination run away with you.
Why?
Because this isn't what it seems. I'm no crazy killer. This man, this Aaron Bolger, he was the real killer. I tracked him down. That's what I do. I track down killers. Aaron Bolger was the bad guy. I'm the good guy. He did all sorts of terrible things.
It says the Right Honorable Sir Aaron Bolger, human rights lawyer, the Office of Orphaned Refugees and Sick Cuddly Animals, the United Nations.
Exactly. A lawyer. Need I say more? Now all I need to do is get this Ben and his belongings in my van. It's parked over there.
Huh?
If you give me a hand, I'd appreciate it.
What? How?
You get the bin, I get the suitcase. You help me out, and we'll both be on our way. Honest, it's fine. You get the bin. Go on. Don't be shy. Zuban, where are you?
Oh, I'm right where I should be.
We hope you enjoyed our locally sourced production this evening. Please tune in next week, Thursday and Friday, October 1st and 2nd at 8 p.m. for our final 4 plays. Thank you all and have a good evening.